Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence, for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Detroit Institute for Children. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence, for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Detroit Institute for Children. And we have with us today Marge LaRufa, CEO, and Mike Rhodes, Director of Special Needs Services. Good morning, you two.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
Okay,
us.
now, Marge, I have to start off with you. As the CEO, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and Detroit Institute for Children?
Sure, be happy to. The CEO role within our agency pretty much touches everything. So I have responsibility for day-to-day operations, but I also have responsibility for outreach to the community, outreach to our families, our community partnerships that we have, as well as relationships with our donors.
Okay. So, Mike, your role is Director of Special Needs Services?
Yes, in my role, we deliver special needs services to children in the school setting, and I deal with staffing and the actual definition of what the school needs are, and then providing those services directly to the kids.
Okay. Now, between you two, I know that the agency is 97
years old.
97 years old. Okay, so within 97 years, and you guys don't look a day over 30. But in the 97 years, the type of services that you guys offer to the community, what is it?
Well, today we offer speech and occupational therapy, physical therapy, social work, psychologists and psychological evaluations, as well as special education services.
Okay. So you guys are almost like a hidden jewel, though. Okay, you're 97 years old, and some people know about you and some people don't. So how do people become aware of your services?
Primarily, the schools become aware of our services. A lot of what we do is word of mouth. We get a lot of referrals from one school to another, between principals, between teachers and special education providers. Parents find out about us because their children are receiving services through us.
Okay. But are the students, now we say special needs, so the age criteria for the children is what?
We work with children in the Head Start program, so we work from children age 0, newborns, to K through 12. And so we specialize primarily in helping the kids. The younger that we can get them, the more we feel like we can really impact their educational experience. And so we focus on the Head Start programs. We have programs with the major federally funded Head Starts in the city, and then we also have some other Head Start programs. But then we work with K through 12 to help both the kids and the parents understand the services that we provide.
That's great. Okay. Now, when a parent comes in with a newborn child, and they're pretty much already upset that their child may have a disability of some sort, does it matter what type of disability? I mean, does it range like hearing impairment, vision loss that you guys work with, or?
It does not matter.
Great.
So whatever type of disability, whether it be a physical disability, a learning or developmental disability, a hearing disability, we really have the resources for the child and therefore for their family to provide it to them.
Okay. Is services based on income level?
Nope.
See?
No.
Okay.
There's no socioeconomic level that kids with special needs fall into. So it can be from the very poorest of families to the very richest of families that utilize our services.
That's great. That's great. See, 97 years old. Okay, because a lot of times people don't know that they can seek services out, and they don't know where to seek services out.
Right.
And then a lot of times parents also, well, you know, I'm going to just deal with this within the family, but the child is actually suffering because they're keeping the so-called family secret, when in actuality there's children of all dimension that need services, and the parents are not sure what to do. Do you have counseling for the parents first and foremost before you actually get to work with the child?
We don't do counseling per se. We do have workshops that are available both for the professionals that are in the schools and then also for parents. So we talk to parents about there's individualized educational programs that is called IEPs, and so those are specific to the child. And so we try to talk to parents about what that experience is and what that means to the child. So what we want to do is bring our programs to the children and help them in the educational process, but basically graduate them out of our program, because then that means that we're really making progress with them.
That's great. That's great. But so when a parent comes to you and say, I have a child with a special needs, is there an evaluation or assessment, or you have to use the medical information that the parent, provides you with?
It depends. A lot of times a parent may come and they're not sure what's going on with their child. So there's a team at each one of the schools that we provide services to, and it's a teacher, and then it's our actual therapist or a special ed teacher or a social worker, and that team will decide where they think the child needs to be evaluated. So we could do a psychological evaluation or a speech evaluation, and then that will tell us, we'll bring that information in, and then the team will decide what services they will provide from there on.
Okay, and no cost to the parents?
No cost to the parents at all. The schools are reimbursed by the state, and the way our model works is that we have a contract with each school, so then we are reimbursed from the school, which then in turn is reimbursed from the state of Michigan.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. And I tell you, today I'm sure someone's watching, and we'll have some questions, so we got to get that phone number and that website, because a lot of parents are struggling what to do with their children. And when I say what to do with their children, they know that they can't afford financially to buy devices or send them to certain types of camps and programs that will allow them to excel. So then they just keep them at home,
Right. Exactly.
And it makes it harder on the child, even though the parent think that they're doing the best thing for them. But when you keep a child at home and you keep them back from learning, that's because the parents not only don't know what to do.
Exactly. Right. We often get calls to our office from parents, from caregivers, from grandparents saying, this is what my child's doing or not doing. What can I do about it? Where can I go? Can I get an evaluation? And oftentimes those children are in school already, but the parents or the family is not aware of the fact that the services are available within schools. So part of what we do is we counsel them about approaching their school, either the teacher or the principal, and how to go about requesting that their child is evaluated for services.
Wonderful. Now, because the school year starts on the normal time, do you guys actually get a chance to assess children before school starts, or is it actually during?
It's usually during school.
Okay.
And typically, because we provide services at the same schools year after year, our therapists are already familiar with the child and what their needs are. So the IEP process is an annual process. So the child's evaluated, goals are established for the child, and then the therapy begins. And so they're constantly working on those goals. As the child achieves the goals, either new goals are set or they're graduated out of the program.
Okay, well, I tell you what, we're going to take a break, and ladies and gentlemen, get your pen and paper out. You need the information. We'll be right back.
A box can contain a gift or perhaps a special purchase for the entire family to enjoy. However, a box should never ever be your only shelter from the dangerous winter cold. The Hope Hospitality and Warming Center in Pontiac provides shelter, a warm meal, and fellowship for our guests, because no one should be homeless and freezing in Michigan. Call 248-812-WARM.
Until all our daughters are safe. Until all our children have families. Until all our families have homes. Until all our parents are cared for. We'll be here.
And welcome back to the second half of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just not joining us, I know you have to have a pen and piece of paper because it's the Detroit Institute for Children. And what Marge and Mike is telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is very important. You have a child with the special needs and you're struggling within your own means trying to find services for them, or better yet, some things that you think will benefit your child. So we're going to ask them to give the phone number and the website so that you can make contact with them. Now, if you missed them in this particular semester of school beginning, I'm sure all year long you can give them a call and find out what you need to do and prepare your child for the next semester and the next years. So, Marge, with that being said, do you guys have a website and phone number that the viewers can have?
Sure. Our phone number is 248-926-0909. And our website is detroitchildren.org.
Okay, so it'll be at the bottom of the screen. All right. So with that being said, I know you guys have some services all year round, but you have one of your newest programs that you do. What is that?
We're very, very proud that this past summer we launched a summer learning program for children between the ages of 5 and 12 years old. All of the children have special needs. And it was a program in the months of July and August. Different from a summer camp, what our program does is it takes the goals that the child has in school through their IEP, and it continues working with the child on those specific goals. Every child during the summer months, whether that child is a general education child or child with special needs, loses some of the learning that they achieved during the school year. Our program helps special needs children from not having that learning loss over the summer months. We had, in our very first year, we serviced 64 kids through 2 locations that we had within the city of Detroit. And we're very, very proud that every child maintained their skill level, and many of them, almost all of them, improved on their goals.
That's great. Now, statistically speaking, do you know or have a range of how many children you've serviced over the years?
During the school year, on average, we are servicing about 2,500 children a month.
A month?
Yes, those are individual children. We may see them 2, 3, 4 times a month. Right. And it changes all the time. Our goal, as Mike said, is we work really hard to graduate children out of our program so that they no longer need our services. We can't do that with every child, but we do that with as many children as we can. So it's a constant process of children being graduated out of the program and then new children being added to the program all year long.
Okay. Now, what if there's siblings that have the special needs? They're just as welcome as like the brothers and sisters before them? Okay, because sometimes, conditions run in families and just finish, working with one child and the parent come back, my youngest son has a condition as well.
We have a lot of parents that come back to us. They may have had a child that we assisted, and then they know that. And two things happen. One, they want you to help their child, but then parents talk. So they also tell other parents, or maybe a sister or a cousin, or that we are doing these services in the schools. And so it certainly enhances not only our ability to help kids, but also the school in that they have our services available to the children.
That's great. Any room for volunteers?
always room for volunteers.
You know, okay. Just thought I'd toss that in there. So, so that means you got to get the phone number again too. So when people should volunteer, parents and neighbors and stuff, are they going into the school system, or is it after school programs, or within you guys?
Our greatest need is with our summer program.
Okay.
So, and our volunteers, you can volunteer for as few as a couple of hours, or you can decide that you're going to volunteer every day of the week for the summer program. So we're very, very flexible. You don't have to have any special training. We'll give you all the information and knowledge that you need to help with the kids. You just really have to love kids.
Okay.
That's the only qualification you need.
Well, then you should give them that phone number again. So what's that number?
It is 248-926-0909.
Okay, and that website?
DetroitChildren.org.
Okay. So now let me ask you this: what type of help would you think that the community should offer you? I mean, do parents just come and say, you know what, I see what a wonderful job you guys are doing. Let me come in. Do other agencies, partnership with you? Is that how I go?
We always look for agencies that we can partner with, because there's a lot of agencies that touch on the fringes of what we do, a lot of agencies that are serving families that could really take advantage of the services that we provide. So that's one way for the community to work with us as an agency. We do a lot of workshops, and we're always looking for community organizations that are interested in providing workshops to their memberships or workshops to the general public. And you always need a location for that as well. We don't have a large office. We have a very small office. There's only 4 of us that work within our administrative office, and we have almost 70 therapists that work remotely.
Wow.
So there's lots of opportunities for us to work with the community and for the community to help us.
Okay, and it's a very heartfelt, touching program to me, because when people have children, they're not anticipating that when the child comes here that there's going to be a situation such as a disability. And that's the first shocker when you have a child with special needs. And then the second part is they're growing, and now you need help. And what type of help? And especially when they become school-age children, and you want to have your children, involved in programs. So do you guys work with blending children into a natural classroom or normal or whatever should we call it? I don't want to call it normal, but a lot of times children with special needs are kind of like singled out. So I always feel like when you do that, other kids become afraid and uncomfortable. And in my opinion, I think that the teachers should be programmed or given instructions on how to perfectly blend a special need child into the classroom so that he or she can play along, do everything almost as normal as the rest of them, so that it just won't stand out like a sore thumb. Okay, if you have a child in a wheelchair, the child's in a wheelchair, but the child wants to play, don't single that child out and say you can play chess or checkers where everybody else is outside playing. So I think that your child in a wheelchair should be able to go out, get roughed up a little bit, and the parent has to understand that I want my son to be able to handle, if he falls out the chair, it's not going to break. He's going to be all right. He can get back up and start playing again. But some parents are so fearful that the child will be hurt even worse than what their condition is. Do you ever have challenges with that, working with parents?
We, a lot of times what we do is, part of our program is to assist parents in understanding that they're not being labeled in our program. That our objective is to move them through the program and graduate them out, so that they become part of the learning environment in the schools. So we do things like we talk to parents about what this means, what is the IEP process. And then we also talk to professionals about the best way to manage a classroom, so that if a child has an issue where they might act up, what's the best way to handle that? There's sensory issues involved with children. There's also particular issues that they might have, that we want to be able to address those things without labeling them, without singling them out.
Right.
So it's very important to do that. So our workshops assist us with that, as well as just talking one-on-one with parents about their particular child to make sure they understand what this program is.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, we're going to go to break, and ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I hope you're writing this stuff down. We'll be right back.
Together, we can change the conversation and focus on preventing substance use disorders and connecting people who are suffering with the treatment, services, and recovery support they need. We will not hide from this issue because it's hard to talk about. Prevention works. Treatment is effective. Recovery is possible for everyone. For the first time, the United States Surgeon General has prepared a report on alcohol, drugs, and health. Our goal, to provide real hope for the millions of people and their families suffering from addiction. Together, we can prevent alcohol and drug-related addiction, and with treatment, we can give those suffering a new outlook on life. Facing Addiction in America, the Surgeon General's report on alcohol, drugs, and health. To read the report, please visit addiction.surgeongeneral.gov.
Over 1 million Americans at risk of foreclosure have been helped by Making Home Affordable. Find out now what your options are.
Home where I belong. Do you know what this is? This is a life-saving tool, a gun safety lock. Over the years, I have reported stories on many accidental shootings simply because a gun was not properly locked. Invest in a gun lock. Support Project Child Safe and get a free gun lock from your local police departments. Let's protect our children and community. Let's invest in safety.
And welcome back to the last half of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but every time you tune in to Just Ask, you should learn something new. So if you didn't know about Detroit Institute for Children, you do now. And there's the phone number and the website at the bottom of the screen. So by all means, contact them, or you can call us at 1-800-323-5336, 1-800-323-5336, hashtag Twitter, email Marsha, and just ask me a question, okay? But what I like about the show in particular is that every time someone comes on, you learn something. So if you didn't get to any information today, you know what? I would suggest that you take the number, share it with a friend who has children, especially if it's a family member, and say, hey, let's talk to these people and see if we can get our children some help, all right? So I had to say that because I always believe that who's ever watching this show, they know someone who needs something, okay?
It's so very true.
So that's why it's called Just Ask. But I wanted to clarify that, you know, you guys have been around a long time, you know, longer than I've been living. And so with that being said, I mean, truly, my parents wouldn't have never known, okay? And so today's parents should be well-versed, and I commend you both because you have to have a heart of gold to work in this type of, you know, field in the first place. So I really do admire both of you and your staff.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I wanted I had a question in particular. I wanted to know, what is your geographical boundaries, or do you have it? What areas do you serve?
We're primarily in the city of Detroit. We're also focused on Wayne County as well, but we provide services in Macomb, in Genesee, in the Flint area, also in Livingston County, Oakland County, and we go as far west as Benton Harbor. We also have schools in Grand Rapids and Muskegon, and so we cover basically we cover services for our partner schools who invite us to expand into the geographical areas where they are.
Okay. So now this show covers all of Michigan, so parents. Okay. I mean, you know, really, somebody's probably sitting here saying, I wonder what schools or whatever, what area. So now you know. So it's mainly throughout Michigan.
Correct.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, our name is a little bit misleading. Our roots are in the city of Detroit, and really the vast majority of schools that we serve are in the city of Detroit, but nothing prevents us from serving the whole state of Michigan.
Great. Great, great. Now I have this lovely brochure, and the reason I say it's lovely because look at this little. He's just a handsome. Okay, so if a parent or someone needs some information, could they get this brochure mailed to them?
Absolutely.
Okay, okay. Now take a look at this brochure. He is such a handsome little child. And I did take the pleasure of looking on the inside, and the beautiful smiles of the children, the hand paint, everything says we love children. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching and you want information, give them a call, or like I said, 1-800-323-5336. And we will make sure that you get the brochure and get in contact with Marge and Mike, okay? So, you know, like before we go, I'm just always impressed with my guests because it's like I'm doing research to find out about things that I knew very little about, and I want to share the wealth of the information with the viewers, and you guys really enlightened me today about children's services, because when you have special needs children, you're looking at your child and you want them to grow up and be as normal as possible, but you have to find the tools.
Right,
okay?
Absolutely.
And education is a tool, okay? So regardless if they're hearing impaired, visually impaired, wheelchair users, ADD and all that, you guys are letting us know that, hey, we can come to you, ask you questions, and you'll put them in the right direction.
We're all about helping each child individually reach their greatest potential.
Okay, okay. And this, so your summer program in particular, that's where you really need your volunteers to come into play.
That's where we need our volunteers. And that program is provided free of charge to all of the children and their families that attend the program. So most of our funding, because we receive state funds for the services that we provide in schools, most of the fundraising that we do is for our summer program.
Okay, and how many weeks or months is the program?
It's 6 weeks, in the months of July and August.
Okay, so parents should be getting geared up. Okay,
Absolutely.
Now, do you send out information to let parents know when the program starts? And
you can get on our email list, and then we do advertise in Metro Parent.
Okay, Metro Parent. Okay, okay. So naturally, now today is another day they can always call you. Okay,
they can always call us.
All right, so they can put the information there. So is it almost like a waiting list for the children to get on?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a cap for how many kids?
Yeah, each of our program locations for this summer program is limited to 25.
25 kids. Okay, well, parents, when you see this show, you better get your kids' name ready. You don't have to wait till June. Okay.
Yeah, not good to wait till June.
You better jump the gun and say, I need to sign up now. Okay.
Right.
Well, no, that's good, because this way, when they watch the show and they do know that there's a summer program that they can involve their children in, they're going to call slightly early to find out when is the window open, and they'll be prepared. And then they can also volunteer.
Yes,
to help with the children. Okay, that's you can't ask for any more than that. Okay, okay.
Nope.
I had to say that.
Something for everyone.
Right, right. So you get involved and you get to see your children in action, and you know, and pass the word. Now, so this is your guys' second year with the.
This will be our second year. Yes.
Oh yeah, you want to grow. Okay.
Absolutely.
You definitely want to grow. Okay, okay. So, well, Just Ask, well, you know, if we can come out and see you guys this summer, we would
we would love it.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Okay, the kid in us will come out too. But we would like to come and see you guys this summer, and definitely get a chance to, you know, bring back some more information for the viewers, and so they can see some more good more information about your services. Will you come back and join us again?
We definitely will.
Okay, okay. I'm looking forward to it, and you don't have to wait till the summer.
All right.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you, Marcia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know I always tell you, this is the program you want to tune into, and if you miss us, you can always go to YouTube. You know, we're there. Go to the website, justasktalkshow.org. You can Twitter, hashtag, all that good stuff, but definitely check out the channels, Channel 56, all of our cable networks, and you definitely, if you miss us, give me a call and I'll tell you where I'm at, all right? Well, as you know, I'm your host, Marcia Florence with Just Ask, and what do I always say? If you know a person with a disability, or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask Just Ask. I'm your host. Thank you.